Welcome back, everybody. It is Crabcakes and Baseball. I am Jerry Shank. With me, as always, Maryland Scouting Director Jamie Naill. Jamie, how are we doing?
Living the dream, man. We're doing extremely well. Trying to catch up on a little bit of rest before we hit the flight out to Vegas. So doing well, doing well.
Yeah, yeah. For those of you wondering, we're going to Vegas. We have our we have our organizational meetings, so to speak, down over in Vegas this year for PBR, where we get all the state directors from across the country. It's basically just a meeting of the minds. Long days, a lot of talking about how we can continue to be the best in the business and how do we can get better and make everybody's experience even better. So it's really a fun time. So it should be a lot of fun. Been doing this for a lot of time, a lot of years, and we're heading over tomorrow. So we start that journey tomorrow. But let's talk about this past weekend first, Jamie. What a weekend it was! Mid Atlantic State games. It's been the fourth year we've been running this event, and well over 225 kids this year at the event, split on two fields. Played each player played two games. A lot of ABs, lots of repetition and a ton of talent. By far, hands down, the most talented event that we've ever had with the Mid Atlantic State Games. It was amazing. And that's what we're going to get into today. We're going to break down some of the players who really stood out from the Old Line State, from Delaware. And let's get right into it, Jamie, because we're not going to waste any time. So, the first thing we're going to get into, let's talk about some arms. And specifically, we talked about this leading up to the event. North Hagerstown, just all of a sudden, now we're getting some arms out there in North Hagerstown, and 2025 Henry Lewis did not disappoint.
Yeah. North Hagerstown, like you said, just to put another note there, that pitching staff this spring coming up is going to be one of the best in the state. Honestly, that pitching staff is legit, and we got to see Henry Lewis this past weekend. I love the slot. He was up to 85. Worked the fastball a lot to the glove side. He was not on the field that I was at, but I saw a lot of video, got a lot of notes from our guys over there. Love the slider, shorter shaped, can get some swing and miss in the zone away to righties. So really like that arm. Like I said, I really like that slot. So that's an impressive 25 out of North Hagerstown.
Yeah, for sure. And if you weren't there, that means I was. And actually, I could take it to see Henry. It was really good, and just like you said, really showed some nice command of the baseball. I like the slider. I think it's definitely going to play. Definitely with good velocity as well. Really interesting. So I definitely was impressed with Lewis. Now let's keep on going. Another one that I ran into, but I want to throw at you first. A 2026 out of Landon School, Bo White.
Yeah, Bell White. It was my first real look at him. Obviously, didn't see him in person, but saw the video and it was on the field that you were at. But I love that frame, 6'4", 190, and it's pretty strong with how lean the frame is. I think the arm's pretty clean from the video that I saw. The breaker shows a lot of promise down in the zone, can get some swing and miss when he gets ahead with the fastball. Fastball came out of the hand pretty well, up to 85. Ability to work it to both sides of the plate, up and down. So a really intriguing 26 there out of Landon that I didn't really see before this weekend. But like I said, really love that frame. I love the fastball in the mid 80s with a lot left in the tank. So Bo White, definitely a name to circle coming up this spring.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely a great frame to really dream on, and it's relatively easy delivery. Even when he was, he got amped up a little bit in the game, and you know, you could tell he was wanting to put some more effort on it, but it was still an easy delivery. So that's always fun to see. And I do like that breaking ball. I think it definitely has a lot of potential, something that you can work on. And, I was honestly, when I saw Bo, that was the first time I had seen him as well. And so it didn't cross my mind that he's a 26. I thought he was older. And then just seeing him out there, I was like, holy cow, all right, here we go. because it's definitely somebody that you want to keep an eye on because you can definitely see that he should be on the uptick. So really exciting prospects there out of the 26 out of Landon. So let's continue on. Let's stay in that Montgomery County area. Let's go to Good Counsel. We got 2027 Andrew Bezak. Really, really a really good weekend for him.
Yeah, yeah, huge weekend, huge two-way guy. With kind of the sky's the limit for him. I'm going to focus on the arm here, but really, I'm going to talk about both sides of the ball. I loved him on the bump. He threw on Sunday. Pounds the zone, fastballs. Continues to tick up. He can spin it for strikes. Just love the pace that he works with. The arm's pretty clean. It's super athletic. He gets down the mound in a hurry. So there's a lot to like on both sides. The hit tool is there though. Like he hit he hit extremely well on Saturday. Loved the BP in game. He could spray to right field. He could pound the middle. Once that frame really matures and he continues to add strength and get taller and widen out a little bit, that's going to be a very, very impressive 27 that we've seen a lot and hopefully we continue to see.
Yeah, for sure. Be a lot of fun to follow Andrew. Obviously, great kid and one we've got to follow for a little while now. It's great to see him again. Now, let's talk about possibly one of the best performances from the weekend, and came out of nowhere, man. Came out of nowhere, and I got to get a small glimpse of this performance. I ended up having to make a quick pit stop at the field, being at the two locations. But energy, it was definitely, it was. I think a term you like to use, Jamie, is electric factory, and
Hmm.
that's what I saw from the energy that came from this young man who really impressed, and that is 2026 out of Annapolis area Christian school, and that's Robert Bala.
Yeah, this is my boy. Coach Selmer and I have talked a lot about Robbie, and he showed up. Man, it was extremely impressive. Believe he worked 3 innings. He was unhittable, and I even put in my notes that he was absolutely unhittable. The fastball got up to 79. He mixed it, fastball, curveball, change, away to righties. He worked in the zone. He was getting weak contact in and out of the zone. The arm's pretty clean. Energy giver, electric factory. Robert Bala, a lefty, to keep eyes on because every time I watch him pitch, he gets outs. He doesn't get hit very hard. He stays away from the barrel. It's a little wiry lefty that can get outs. So, like I said, every time I see him, he's impressive, and he was once again impressive this past weekend.
All right, well, let's stay with the arms here for our last arm. Let's go back again. Let's go back to Montgomery County. We're going to go to Sherwood High School, 2026, Sam Rosenwald, and talk about a guy with a little bit of movement.
Yeah, yeah. This was as impressive as Robbie was. Sam Rosenwald was equally as impressive. Got up to 24 inches of horizontal movement on that fastball sinker. He was dynamite in and out of the zone. Fastballs going away to righties. Love the slot. It's like a sidearm slot. He can move it around, differentiate the slots. Curveball works. He had feel for it in and out of the zone, getting a swing and miss in the zone as well. It's a three-pitch mix. The arm's pretty clean. I like the frame. There's some two-way there as well. He hit the ball extremely well this weekend, both during BP and in game. There's a lot of poolside pop there, but that arm is impressive. Definitely,
Yeah,
love the slot. Impressive 26 at Sherwood that loves arms, and they continue to get bodies down there at Sherwood. So Sam Rosenwald, another one to circle.
just part of the next crop coming of arms coming out of Sherwood. Just don't
Yep.
stop. That slot it's a lot to like, especially from the left side. You got to love those slots. So that arm slot. So definitely a name to keep track of. Now let's move to the infield. We've got a few infielders we want to talk about here, um, and let's get right into it. Let's go to Calvert Hall and go into the 2027 class. A guy that we both got to see. I got to see on the bump. You got to see play more in the game, but really intriguing infielder and Hunter Durst.
Yeah,
Dunst, I'm
Hunter
sorry. Hunter
Dunst.
Dunst.
Yeah, Dunst, Jerry. You and names again.
I know.
Now, I love this kid to death. I love him. I love his work ethic. The body is really transformed now, and it continues to get better and get cleaner each time we see him. The hit tool in game impresses. He's not going to put up a bunch of numbers, during BP, exit velo, that kind of stuff, but he can spray to all fields. There's some poolside pop that's really starting to develop now. In game, he turned on a fastball, low 80s fastball, mid 80s fastball that was up at his chin, and flew out to the warning track in left field. Very impressive swing. Hands continue to get cleaner on the infield, so that's another 27 that I'm looking forward to seeing this spring and for many years to come.
Yeah, for sure. On the bump, he was extremely efficient. Just filled up the zone. Really showed advanced feel at that age. I even talked with Hunter afterwards. He's at that point where he can really work on honing his command as opposed to just control because he's already that far along. So it's really really interesting. Really good athlete too. There's a cool video. John Nolan got really fired up. Our one of our PBR Virginia Northern Virginia scout, and he made a really great play on a comebacker up the middle, rolled a double play. Real interesting there, but he was all fired up because pitchers PF getting some PFP action in on Twitter, always a fun thing. But it was a really good day for Hunter when I got to see him on the bump as well. So definitely a guy to keep an eye on. Let's go out to Western Maryland. We're going to Tuscarora, 2026 Parker Cup. Another really nice weekend for this young man.
Yeah, yeah, we've talked about him a lot over these past weeks on podcasts, and with good reason. We love the physicality there. We love the poolside strength, and he showed the ability to hit for power to the opposite field as well. In game, he sprayed 2 hard line drives to right field, got a couple RBIs. So that hit tool continues to develop. We thought that kind of coming in that it was more of a poolside approach, left center, left field line, ability to backspin to the poolside, but he showed the ability to spray line drives to right field and to the opposite field. So that was definitely intriguing. That was a lot of fun to watch. Really, really good kid, high octane kid. The glove works at third base as well. So that's a guy that going in we knew a lot about, and he continues to raise his stock. So that's a 26 out of Tuscarora that we really, really like.
Yeah, for sure. Really good weekend for Parker. I know he was one of the people that a lot of us talked about afterwards. All right, now let's move to outfield. We do have a handful of outfielders, really nice crop of outfielders that were at this event from Maryland, Delaware area. Let's start it off. Somebody who I thought really impressed is really showing some trending up, and that's again back at Sherwood High School. 2026 Carter Sweeney Strawberry.
Yeah, and I'm going to move pretty quick through these, but this is probably one of the most impressive outfielders that I saw. It was the first time that I got to see him with my own eyes. Carter Sweeney Strawberry, 26 out of Sherwood, 6'8", 260 during the workout. Was up to 87 from the outfield, 90 exit velo, sprayed to both gaps, line drive approach. Once that frame really starts to fill out, look for this to be one of the more athletic outfielders in that 26 class that is pretty loaded in Maryland as it is. And this is another guy that's trending pretty quickly north.
Yeah, yeah. Just to reiterate that, like this is the third time we've got to lay eyes on Carter, and it's amazing what a difference a year makes, especially after freshman year to sophomore year. And this is really evident when getting to see Carter. You just see that much more physicality and strength, the velocity really going up, the swings coming around. It's getting even better. It definitely looks like a swing that's going to turn in. It's going to have a little bit of pop down the road. Really interesting. He's trending in the right direction, so it's really good to see him again. For me, I didn't get to see him 2 weeks ago at our scout day that we had with him, but remembering him from last year and then watching him just this past weekend, really good direction that he is moving into. Now back to Calvert Hall, another guy we talked about at length. One who we were really interested to see. He didn't disappoint. That's 2026 Ethan Frank.
Yeah, yeah. Ethan Frank, he never does disappoint. One of the top guys in our 26 class. The hit tool continues to develop. It continues to get better. Physicality, the frame. I was talking to his dad a little bit post event, and talking to Ethan during the event. the strength is really evident. The body transformation that he's going through is impressive. So the strength being added is really intriguing, really fun to watch. The hit tool continues to develop. We really like it. Gap to gap, the ability to spray to the opposite field, I really like. So it's an advanced hit tool that just continues to get better. Love being able to see him again, and it's definitely a 26 that I'll be looking forward to going out and seeing next spring.
Yeah, and speaking of hitters, let's move on to quite possibly one of my more favorite hitters in the 25 class in the state of Maryland. He didn't disappoint. He put together some really good at bats this weekend. Um, Again, 2025 out of BCC, Trent Lopez.
Yeah, you want to talk about a guy that can get it done in game. Last spring, when I saw him, didn't matter what arm was out there, he got it done. He was on barrel consistently and did it again this weekend. 99 exit velo during the workout, was 85 from the outfield, so the metrics continue to jump. Um, it's a guy that I just love the hit tool. It's advanced. He can go to both gaps. There's a lot of pull side pop there. It's a frame that continues to get stronger. The foot speed continues to improve. So 25 out of BCC, Trent Lopez definitely one to circle.
Yeah, what I liked was he was really showed some ability to take advantage of a mistake pitch and put some hurting on it. Just really good day, especially in the game that I got to watch him play. Now let's continue on. Let's stay in the 25 class. We're going to St. Mary's and a really nice overall day here by one Dominic Hicks.
Yeah, Dominic Hicks, huge weekend, breakout weekend in our eyes, in my eyes at least. 6'8", 360, so he can move. Definitely loved the foot speed there. 95 exit velo. I loved his BP. It was pretty controlled with a lot of intent there as well. It's a guy that's on barrel a lot, can spray line drives. I love the frame. Continues to get stronger. But like I said, that 6'8", 360 definitely. Um, Kind of stuck out to me, and definitely a good overall weekend for Hicks.
Yeah, for sure. And let's stay on that same path right now, talking about some breakouts, some guys who really impressed. Let's go St. Mary's Riken. We got 2026 outfielder Lucas Sigafus.
Yeah, I said Carter Sweeney Strawberries was probably my most impressive outfielder that stuck out to me, but Sigafus is right there on that level. 6'8", 860 out of that long frame. He's 6'4", 6'5". So the ability to move the way that he does for as long as he is was impressive in my eyes. 93 exit velo. He went backside double into right center field on Sunday, probably one of his last at bats. Love that swing, ability to lift. It's a little there's some intent there as well, gap to gap, but the ability to stay on the ball was something that jumped out to me.
All right, well, let's move to the backstop, and this was a really strong group as well. Again, just a great event. Just have to reiterate it because it was that good of an event. But backstops, let's start at the top because we talked at length. I guess we don't have to get into it again because we just talked so highly of him in the preview, and needless to say, he just basically was right on point with what how we described him. Loved the way the game was played, and he did it. Ton of energy. Let's go back to Montgomery County, 2026, out of Wooten, Kai Schmelzer.
Yeah, Kai Schmelzer, you're probably not going to find a better defensive catcher in game than Kai. The ability to save pitchers with pass balls and wild pitches and stuff like that, like it jumps off the page. It's extremely impressive. The hit tool continues to develop. We really like it. He showed a little bit of pop on Saturday. He burned the center fielder for a double. But like you said, we don't have to talk too much because we've already talked at length about Kai. He just continues to get better. He continues to open our eyes. So a lot of fun to watch, both at the plate and behind the plate, offensively and defensively.
Yeah, for sure. Just a ton of fun, and getting to talk with more people more and more. You saw that they were like, man, just like the way the game is played right there. So I mean, that's a great compliment for a young man. So definitely keep it up, Kai. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Now Let's go to Northeast High School. Another good catching prospect in the 2026 class, and that is Cooper Meeks.
Yeah, physicality definitely stood out to me and Jason Burton when we were talking about him. We saw him in game twice. Um, the hit tool, like we like it. We love the actions behind the plate for how physical he is. Like he's a monster for a 2026 for what that frame looks like, and he moves extremely well. He was a 196 behind the plate as his best pop time. The arm strength continues to increase. We haven't seen him in a while. So I loved the ability to see him this past weekend, but the ability to impact the game on both sides impressed me and definitely stood out.
Yep. And let's continue on. We got two more players we want to talk about real quick. Now, let's go over to the Eastern Shore. Another really good, interesting day. Strong arm, showing some pop at the plate, too. And again, the 2026 class out of Stephen Decatur, Landon Daniel.
Yeah, left-handed hitting catchers. One of my
Sign me up.
favorites. Yeah, along with left-handed hitting middle infielders, left-handed hitting catchers are probably at the top of my list. Landon Daniel, super impressive. One of my real kind of in-depth looks at Daniel was this past weekend. 199 pop behind the plate, 96 exit velo. BP was extremely impressive. It was loud. The ability to backspin to the pull side was eye-opening to me, and he got it done in game. The ability to he sprayed a couple balls down the left field line to the opposite field that I liked. But BP was definitely impressive, and that's a 26 that not a lot of people may know, but it's a guy that's trending upwards for sure.
Yep. And then last but not least, another one we talked about in the preview who did not disappoint. Really strong overall day. Nice offense, good defense. The arm strength's definitely there. Back at Patuxent High School in Southern Maryland, 2026, Logan Pal.
Yeah, physicality never disappoints each time we see him. Continues to get stronger. He's got some chin hair now, so I was messing with him a little bit that he's growing a beard. But no, 198 behind the plate, 95 exit velo. There's a ton of physicality there. Continues to develop the game. Each time we see him, he gets better and better. So it's a guy out of Patuxent that I'm looking forward to getting down. Hopefully, get down to Southern Maryland a couple times this spring. So Logan Pal, another guy in that loaded 26 class in Maryland to circle.
Yeah, and we could extend that even further. The 26 class in the Mid Atlantic is really, really strong right now, and it really showed out this past weekend. Just a real impressive event. Love the way the underclass is looking, the 26, the 27 class. This event, we saw a ton of 26s. They did not disappoint. I know we're way ahead of the schedule here, but tell you what, the Future Games team is going to be a tough one to pick this year because there's just a ton of talent in this class. Should be a lot
Mhm.
of fun. But yeah, I was just overall impressed. It's so much, so much. Couldn't can't words can't express how impressive it was this past weekend watching this event, being able to watch all these players from both states. So another big thank you to everybody who attended, everybody who came down to spend the weekend down in Hampton. At War Memorial Stadium and Nansman River High School. Thank you very much to our hosts. A pleasure as always working with the Peninsula Pilots over there at War Memorial. They were outstanding people. Nansman River, a big thank you as well for hosting us on kind of late notice. When we decided kind of late, hey, why don't we play two games? We got a lot of people here. Let's get some more games in. So, a pleasant surprise for all the players, too, getting some extra ABs. But yes, it definitely was a ton of fun. A lot of impressive players. Jamie, before we run out of here, do you got anything else you want to add?
Yeah, just content wise, stat release was released on Monday, categorical leaders, all that kind of stuff. So that was released on Monday. Our staff, both in Virginia and Maryland, we're going to do some stat leaderboards throughout the week. I'm going to throw out some spotlights on some guys that I liked over the weekend. So a ton of video, a ton of content still coming out, both this week and the weeks to come. So make sure that you're jumping on the website, seeing all that stuff. It's going to be flooding Twitter, flooding Instagram. So just wanted to put that note out there.
Yeah, definitely. Don't think this is going to be the only sort of post event content from an event like this. Going to be a lot that's going to be coming out the next week or two because it was that kind of an event. So we need to take a few days to be able to get it all in. So make sure you're visiting prepbaseballreport.com/Maryland, prepbaseballreport.com/Virginia. And checking out all the content that's going to be on there. Should be a lot of stuff going on over the next 2 weeks or so. So again, thank everyone for your continued support for Crab Cakes and Baseball. Thank you for watching, folks. It's Crab Cakes and Baseball. That's what PBR Maryland does. We'll see you next time.